Hi, and welcome to the Sagebrush Journal uh, Happy Hour Journal, Sagebrush Happy Hour Journal for January 23rd, 2025. So yesterday I talked about a little bit about how hard it can be to live out here in the rural environment here in New Mexico. And this area specifically that we live on is called the Taos Plateau, and it's basically west of the Rio Grande Gorge and east of the San Juan Mountains or the Tusas Mountains. And so it's, sagebrush plain, plateau. Sometimes people call it the steppe. And so it's a tough environment weather-wise. Is that it can get really cold. We've been having below zero nights recently, and so when people come out here and they want to build, the first thing, of course, is they need to get shelter. And there's most of the people will come out with a trailer, and then they have to while they build, and then they want to build a environmentally usually low impact, low cost, high labor type of house. And so that can include things like earth ships, which are basically semi-buried structures that are built out of rammed earth in tires, and then they have a southern exposure for passive heat. And then there's people that build straw bale houses, and so there's some various alternative building techniques, and then sometimes people do just plain frame houses. But so that's kind of the first thing, is getting shelter, and it's not as cheap as you think it is, or right now for a new build, they're talking $300 a square foot from a contractor. And so, it's the building costs are pretty high. And of course, the alternative is to build it yourself and use more labor intensive but material cheap building methods. And that's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot longer than you think it is. And so once you get a shelter built, then you have to worry about things like power and water. And water is probably the most difficult thing, because if you can't gather it off your roof, you can't really dig a well. We're talking our water table is 900 feet down to the nearest aquifer, and so that's not really realistic. So you have to either haul water or gather water from your roof, and so that's a consideration that has to be taken into. And then your solar electricity, and you can. There's a lot of people that build kind of just RV type of solar electric systems. And they basically have to conserve electricity and live at kind of an RV kind of level of electrical usage. And then, and if you want to put in a real robust system that can handle things like a dishwasher, a microwave, and kind of live what we call a normal lifestyle, that's going to take quite a bit of investment in solar power. And not only is the initial investment, that there's a kind of an ongoing maintenance thing and an ongoing management that has to go on when you're your own power company. So you're your own power company and your own water company. And then, probably the next thing would be heat, and you can use solar power to generate heat, but that you need a lot of solar power to do that. And you can build your home in a passive solar manner. But then you've certainly got some other things to make up for what the heat shortage is. And so, in my case here, we've got a wood stove that's going and heating this room. And then we also have some propane heaters. And then we also have some electric heat pump, mini split heaters. So that's another consideration. And again, all those things have to be managed, and whether when you need to order propane, when do you need to get wood? Is there enough sunlight to run a heat pump? So all those things are kind of challenges, and then we have the challenges of living far away from a town, and so basically Taos is about 30 miles away, and the nearest grocery store is 27 miles, and so anytime you need to run to the grocery store, there's that. The nearest gas station, 17 miles. So you have to manage your gas. And then, as far as raising your own food, the soil out here is horrible. It's alkaline, extremely base, and it basically cannot grow anything without amendment. And so if you want to grow your own food, you have to bring in soil, and you probably have to build a greenhouse. So all those things are, when I see that people will basically, text Facebook and say, "Oh, that looks like an easy life out there. I'd love to move out there, and I can get some land for really cheap, I just want to kind of tell people that there are some challenges in living out here. And so I hope I've talked about a few of those, and just not to discourage people, but just to kind of enlighten them or educate them on, how it can be pretty difficult to live out here. And with that, I bid you cheers, and till tomorrow.